Hello. Hello, hello. Oh, hush. Oh, my gosh. Hush, baby. Hey, everybody. Hey, Ronnie. Girl, you love red trucks, too? Hey, Elaine. Oh, my goodness, y'all. I'm sorry. Sorry. Let me let these dogs out. Get on out here. All right, let me do some housekeeping. Y'all, as y'all are coming in, introduce yourselves. Tell everybody where you're from. And I am going to copy all of my social media places and paste them in here. And then we'll get started. Ronnie, one of the first, sorry, I can't do two things at one time. One of the first wreaths I ever made was a red truck Christmas wreath. As a matter of fact, it was the first Christmas that I ever wreath that I ever made when I was going to start to sell wreaths. I sold one, and then I sold a fall red truck wreath, and I just love red truck. I was pretty disappointed when I found out in my business group, the business coach of mine goes to the Dallas market every year, and she does a trend analysis. So she tells us what's going to be trending and what is starting to fall off the trend. And one of the things that was falling off of the trend was the red truck. And so I was a little disappointed that the red truck was falling off trend because I love it so much. However, I do still see a lot of red truck out there. So, all right, everybody, thank you for joining me. I'm Jamie Shahan, owner and creator of Teal LolliPops Wreaths. I create beautifully handcrafted wreaths for all of the seasons and all of the holidays. And you see me here picking off hot glue off of my table here. I've got hot glue everywhere. And so today we're going to be making a red truck wreath, which is what we've just been talking about, how I love red trucks. And Ronnie had chimed in and said how she loves red trucks too. So here is the sign. I got this from the Christmas warehouse that I went to. I actually went to it last weekend, and I went to it yesterday as well, and I still bought more stuff. I thought, no way I'm going to be able to find anything else, but sure enough, I did. I think I have a problem. If anybody knows of Crafters Hoarders Anonymous, I probably need to know about it and join it immediately. All right, so that's the sign. The ribbon that we're going to be using is, here are the choices. So when I went to the Christmas warehouse, I showed y'all this. I fell in love with this beautiful, deep, rich red velvet ribbon that's got the snowflakes there, glitter snowflakes, and then it's got the fluffy, fuzzy edge. Absolutely adore this. And I'm going to pair that with this plaid, this black, gray, and white plaid. So I'm a little bit uncertain about it, but I'm going to go ahead and finish it off till the end. I always say wait until the end, and then if you don't like it, you can always change it. But there is a really bright white stitching in here that matches the bright white of this, but the rest of it is kind of a muted white, and it's almost a gray. This is almost gray stitching on the edge, so if it is gray, then it's going to match just fine. But I'm going to wait to the end. I'm going to reserve judgment, and I'm going to go ahead and pair those two ribbons together. And then I've got this adorable truck ribbon, and it just says Merry Christmas, and it's got various pictures of the truck, a front view, a side view, a back view with a Christmas tree loaded into it. Love, love that. So we're going to be starting with a 21-inch snowball mesh. And snowball is, for anybody who doesn't know, there are these little knobbies in here. There are stripes of white in here, and then there are also stripes of foil. But in here are these little knobbies, and these are called snowballs. So that's why they call this, because I guess it resembles a snowball. So they call that snowball mesh. And then I'm going to be using some accent ribbon. We're going to do something I haven't done on one of these lives yet. We're just going to do straight rolls and pair this accent ribbon. And we're going to make these rolls like this. And so I've used this mesh. I call this window pane. I don't think that's what the industry calls it, but to me that's like a window pane burlap mesh. Frays quite a bit. You got to be careful. I go crazy, go overboard. I hot glue my ends so that it doesn't fray and get all over the place, but this will fray and wither down to nothing if you're not careful with it. And then I've got a red, another red and white snowball mesh in the 10-inch, and it has big white and red stripes as well as foil going this way. And then I've got the burlap, not burlap, but the black and white mesh that I got from Hobby Lobby that I love so much. So those are the three that we're going to do just straight rolls and create these little bundles. And I've already got these made up ahead of time, but I've got two reserved that we'll make on camera tonight. So I'll show you how to do that. Okay, so we're going to start with the 21-inch mesh. So let's get started. Get some of this stuff out of the way. Let me just get this together so I don't lose it. So how is everybody? Y'all making some sales, learning some things, making some things? What is everybody doing? All right, so we're going to start with this 21-inch mesh. So I'm going to flip it over. I think both sides are the same. Sometimes when you've got the curl going up, you end up with a fluffier poof. Sometimes not, but I'm going to go ahead and just do it that way this time. So just kind of straighten out your edge and then just start to gather it. Choose any spot, doesn't matter where. So this is a 15-inch elevated work wreath form that I got from Hobby Lobby. And it only has 16 ties. So it's smaller than what you get for some of the online spaces like Trendy Tree or Craft Outlet. They almost always have 18 ties. All right, so I'm going to do 10-inch poofs or something like 10-inch poofs. Something close to that. I've gotten to where I almost don't measure much anymore. I just kind of eyeball. Made a couple of bows with a Prolo. Hey, how did that go? Hey, look at this, y'all. I'm missing. All I've got is one tie here. And then it just came right off. All right, so let me see if I can find my ties. Oh my goodness, y'all. If y'all saw my workspace right now, there they are, you would probably be appalled. I've got so much stuff. I've got so much crap everywhere. So these are ties that are very similar to these. I actually found them at the Christmas warehouse, but you can get them online at most of the online distributors, and they're just like these. And I'm glad I have them because I need it. I'm going to put it on here and give it just a little twist, and then we'll continue on. Yeah, it does take practice. I was pretty pleased with the very first bow I made with the Pro Bow, the hand. It is pretty simple, and but once you get the hang of it and get some practice, yeah, I agree. I think it's going to be a great tool to have. And so for anybody who is in the business, I think you have to surround yourself with a bunch of tools. And that is one of them that I think y'all should have. Because it makes some really pretty tree topper bows. It makes some really good package bows. I think with the Pro Bow, with a little bit of practice, I'll be able to make many more wreath bows or Christmas tree bows. I'll be able to make them quicker and more uniform in shape and size with the Pro Bow than I would with the Bodabra. So I started out with the Bodabra, and that's just pretty much what I've used. And now I'm starting to branch out a little bit. So I can see how the Pro Bow, the hand, is definitely going to help my business. I did list some of my tree topper bows. I think I listed 3 or 4, but I've got 5 or 6 made. I listed the turquoise peacock one. I listed, I think I made a gold and navy blue one. I've listed that one. I don't think I made the gold. I'll show y'all that one. I don't think I made that one on the live. I think it's really pretty. This is Hobby Lobby ribbon, and I used 2 of the navy with the gold snowflake and 1 of the gold glitter, and then it's got some semi-long tails. I think it's absolutely gorgeous. So I listed that one. I listed the burlap one with the gold Christmas trees and the gold deer. I think it's gorgeous. And honestly, I think I made that in about 10 minutes, 5 minutes. It was so easy. I think what I have to get used to, though, is the stacking of the ribbon. And you end up with a really thick stack where you make the twist. And so I'm not quite educated on that part of it yet. But I'll get there. Hey, Suzanne. Suzanne, what have you been making? I know you've been busy, girl. You've showed me some of your stuff. And Elaine, how many have you listed today? Yeah, I think it's just going to be a matter of practice, Elaine. I'm wondering if you could like stack them side by side instead of right on top of each other. And if that would end up with a less bulky bottom. You made a tree topper today by hand? Ooh, Ronnie, girl, how'd it turn out? I don't think I could hold that. Y'all, the more I make wreaths, the more my arthritis is starting to set in. And I don't mean to claim negative stuff. You know, I believe sometimes you put stuff out there and it happens. But arthritis is a real thing. The more I do, the more it becomes more apparent. Aw, Suzanne, that's awesome. I have a friend, Christy. She's oftentimes on here, and she has been trying to convince me to get on the dog wreath bandwagon. You know, Deco Exchange is all about dedicating monies and to animal rescue or adoption. I'm not quite sure what they like to give money to, but I'm pretty sure they've got some dog stuff. But my friend has been saying, hey, you know, get this done, get on it, I'll hook you up with some contacts, and I just haven't found the stuff that I like yet. So what are you putting on your dog wreath? So I'm doing 10-inch poofs, you guys. This is 21-inch ribbon with 10-inch poofs, and it's the red with white snowball. So I've just jumped up to the top row, and tied it off with a red zip tie. And I just jumped up to the nearest tie without going backwards, without like I ended up right here and I wanted to go that direction. So without going that way, I just tied off to the nearest tie. And it's getting stuck to itself pretty good. So I keep having to take my hand and push that whole row of mesh out to get it unstuck. I want to get one of those. Do any of y'all have the mesh holders that you can buy off of Etsy, or there's probably more of the places you can get it. You probably don't have to get it from Etsy. But the little wooden holders that you sit over to one side and it rolls your mesh out and holds it uniform and neat. I've got a list of things that I need to acquire. I took a picture of a dog and sent the picture to the printers and Mod Podged it onto a wood circle. Aww. I like that idea a lot. So is her dog deceased now, I guess? And this is a tribute wreath, maybe? But yeah, I think if I had the little wooden thing that holds the mesh, I wouldn't fight with it so much like I do right here. I'm constantly, you know, unrolling it, and the edges are getting stuck to themselves, and it's not very graceful, I'm sure. No, she's okay, sorry. She just loves her dog. Okay, good. How are your relatives that had COVID, Suzanne? Are they better? I think they were getting better last we talked. So evidently dog, I don't know about cats so much, but dog wreaths are becoming quite popular. There's dog ribbon, there's dog accents. I've gotten on Craft Outlet and found a few, and so I need to get busy. But my friend keeps telling me I need to take it to the dog groomers places, and she said she would even take it for me, so I'm going to take her up on that. I'm definitely going to do that. I don't have a dog that I take to the groomers, but she does. So I'm going to take her up on it and let her do it for me. So I'm going to cut this off. I'm going to cut it a little bit long. Ooh, these scissors are terrible. Wow. I can't cut anything with those. Y'all, let me show you. Have I showed y'all these scissors? Look at these scissors. I don't know really what I'll ever use them for. I got them at Harbor Freight. And, oh, they cut really well. And I do cut ribbon with them every now and then. One smooth cut. But these are, like, huge. They were only like $5. And I had to have them just because they're so incredibly large. It's almost a novelty item. So I'm going to take this long tail that I've cut. And I'm going to put it through the middle, top, and the bottom row. And I'm going to turn it over and zip tie it. The COVID rash. How long does that last? I've heard of the COVID rash. I really don't know much about it. So our numbers are going up here in Arkansas, as they're going up everywhere. More than likely it is a combination of testing, but also opening back up the economy after we shut everything down for a while. So it's scary times for sure. But I think if we're vigilant and we wear our masks and we use our hand sanitizer and we wash our hands and we try to socially distance ourselves, you know, I think, hope and pray that it'll all turn out. All right, so there's the base. Cute, cute. Now we'll move on to adding the accent. I gifted a dog wreath to my groomer, hoping for sales, but no luck yet. But have sold one to a friend who's getting it to her boss for Christmas. Nice. So, you know, that's what I was hoping too, but I just wasn't sure, you know, if it would pan out. But it doesn't hurt to try. So have y'all ever heard of COVID toe? I know some people haven't heard of the COVID rash, but I've never heard of COVID toe either until a friend of mine thought her husband had it. So this is what we're going to do next, and we're going to add this to every tie. And I've gone ahead and pre-made a bunch of the bundles, but I've left 2 unmade so we can make them here. So what I do is I take the Bodabra just as a holder, not really to use it to make it. So I have cut, this is 10-inch mesh, and I've cut it to 10-inch in lengths. And so all you're going to do is you're just going to roll it, just a straight roll, nothing fancy, just a straight roll. And then I put it down in there, and it just holds it. So COVID toe, it actually, the nail beds of the toe and the surrounding tissue turn purple. And it looks like it's gonna, their toe's gonna fall off, or it's gonna die or something. I don't know how long it lasts either, but I didn't know that was a thing. Luckily, that's not what he had. He was just having issues with his feet because he was a diabetic. But so once you roll them, you just pull it out of your contraption. If you can hold it, you just hold it. And then just stack it on top of each other and take your long pipe cleaner and just wrap it around, pull it to the back. And so what I do once I get my pipe cleaner on it is I take my hand and I fold all of this forward like that. And then I scrunch this down here so that I can get a tight twist. And as you do that, it kind of holds everything up a little bit, okay? So let's do that again. So it's a straight roll. Just start rolling. And I do alternate which one ends up on top, because I think that the one that's on top is the one that shows the most. And you don't want one color always showing the most. You want it to be sort of random looking and all of them showing. So it's just a straight roll. So let's see, that was the green. I think I'll do the red this time. And then a straight, long pipe cleaner. Wrap it around the center. Just eyeball it, find the center. So now just pull it up, fold it in half, and then scrunch this bottom together. So I don't always hot glue my edges of the mesh, Suzanne, but this particular mesh I do because it drives me crazy when it starts to unravel. And this one will unravel and you'll have nothing left if you manipulate it too much. So it's overkill. I don't recommend that. It's definitely not very wise if you are making a bunch and you're wanting to save time. It's not a time saver at all. So let's see. I don't think I made enough. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So I only made enough for half of the ties. So we'll just start and go and put it in every other one. How about that? So I'm just going to, usually what I'll do is use the ties, but I think I'm going to reserve it this time and just use these red chenille stems, and I'll use the green ties for the ribbon. So also, what I should have done was, I do that a lot, don't I? What I should have done was I should have had something else to go on this tie, and so I may come back and do that. I want something on every tie, and I just, for some reason, I don't know why, I just didn't think that through. And because this is big and bulky, that's why I'm using the chenille stem that I wrapped around it. You love mesh that's unwrapped? Oh, you have mesh that's unwrapped. Yeah. So I have used the wood burner, Elaine, but I haven't had good luck with it. Did you have good luck with it? It helps with the frame. Yeah, because it melts it. So there, you can get a wood burning tool at Michael's, Hobby Lobby, wherever. And so this is underneath here is a glass table that I got from IKEA. And you can get a piece of glass to put on a wooden surface or a countertop that's not granite or whatever. And you want to use your wood burning tool but cut on a glass surface. So I had an old glass table, and in the area that I used to make all my wreaths, I took that coffee table glass top, and that's what I used to cut my mesh on with the wood tool. Alright, so there's going to be 2 together there. So let me just hop up here to the top. We'll start right here. A wood burning tool is no joke, y'all. It gets hot. Skip one, come to this one. A lot of times these rolls are put in after your ribbon, but I like my ribbon to be on top of the roll, so I'm going to go ahead and put them in now. And 1 more, 2 more. So I might could just get by with 1 more right there. Let's see. We'll go ahead. You're scared to death of it. Well, that's a good fear because that sucker gets hot. I have burned myself on mine. Alright, so there's supposed to be another one right here. Where was that bottom one? Alright, I think I'll put it down here at the bottom. So this just gives it a little bit more dimension because not everything is flush with the top of the wreath. Gives it more texture. You've got stuff sticking off and it's rolls, and adds more color. Alright, so next we're going to do the ribbon. As usual, I cut the ribbon 12 inches in length and I dovetailed everything. I wonder if I should put something here, y'all. Red and green. Let me try something real quick. Let's see what looks best with this sign. So I could do that one. Or I could do that one. I think this one looks better. So I'm going to cut some mesh real quick, and let's put some mesh in those extra. Might as well go with it. If you have a little feeling, then just go with it. So I'm going to cut this, let's see how many I need first. So I need 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Alright, I need 8. This is pretty good mesh. So when you have good covering mesh, foil mesh especially, has better coverage. You can get by with something that's not quite as long. But I'm going to cut these 12 inches. So there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 1 more. Let me set this aside. Did it work, Elaine? To fuse it together? I've never heard of doing that. That's interesting. Uh-oh, I dropped one. All right, let's see if we can put this to one side. It did work? Oh, awesome. I've never heard of that. I'll have to scope that out. All right, so I think I'll just do a simple ruffle since I've only cut them to 12 inches. And so what I do is I flip them upside down, and the natural inclination is for it to roll under. I want the edges to roll under, so that's why I'm going to flip it. And I just start with this edge under a little bit, and then just start walking your fingers to the other side. When the other edge doesn't flip out, I leave it rolled under, and then take it just like that and attach it. Oh, how did that turn out? I've always wanted to do the flower petal wreath. I will do it. I just haven't done it yet. They make them so pretty, but I have tried before to make those petals, and they turned out really crappy. So I kind of gave up and just kept doing what I was doing. Perfecting what I was good at. So I do like Julie's Wreath Boutique. She's the one that I watch. And she's the one I learned about the wood burning tool from. Yeah. I like her a lot. She, I think, has copyrighted some things, you know. Only she can teach how to do the Christmas tree wreath. Oh, I'd like to see your patriotic wreath. You guys, y'all feel free to show some of your stuff on my page. I'd love to see it. You know, the more you share, the more you will sell. I need to take my own advice. It does make it pop. Hey, Amy, how are you doing? Amy's my cousin, y'all. We went to the Christmas warehouse yesterday together. I think I cut one. I need another one. All right, we'll see. I miscounted. Easy to do. So I'm doing the Christmas red truck sign, the farmer's red truck sign. All right, so I need one more here. So let's cut one more, and I think that's it. So I haven't done the skating wreath yet. I have to get on it and get it listed. I will definitely do a live whenever I make that one. I just need to wrap my head around it, figure out exactly what I need to do. These wreaths, like this design here, I came up with right before I posted it on the Facebook announcement. That wreath, I'm going to have to think about because I'm going to do it on an evergreen base, or I might even do it on a grapevine base. And those bases take me a little bit longer. But I do need to get on it because Christmas is going to be over if I don't. All right, so that's something in every tie. Now we can go to the ribbon. But I did get some ribbon. I got some more blue ribbon. It's going to be navies and whites. Actually, it's not really navy. It's more like a royal blue. Royal blue and whites. Okay, so I'm going to pair these two ribbons together and these two together. So you're going, these are all 12 inches and they're all dovetailed. So you're going to lay your 2.5 inch down and your 1.5 inch on top. Eyeball it, find the center, and scrunch it together, and then fold it in a V shape, and then you're going to kind of curve out the tails like a bird's wing, and then just start anywhere and placing them on the wreath. So I do make all of my tails come out to the side, and I used to make both of them, both of the 2.5 inch and the 1.5 inch come down in a V. But what I've started to do is to fan out the top 1.5 inch ribbon almost straight. Instead of down like this, I take the 1.5 inch ribbon and I pull it almost straight so that you can get a better view of both ribbons. This is my absolute favorite ribbon of the year. I bought it a couple of weeks ago when I went to the Christmas warehouse, and then I bought it again yesterday. The red is a blue red, and it is so stunning in person. I don't know if it comes off that way on the camera, but it is a beautiful ribbon, and it's a velvet. So I'm kind of creating a farmhouse glam, so to speak, because to me, anything with a fringed edge and glitter and velvet, that's glamorous. But I'm pairing that with a farm truck, so that's a juxtaposition, the opposites. But I think it works. I like it. I want to redo my house, and I've thought about this a lot, and the style I would go for would be a farmhouse glam. So I do have some sales starting to hit my shop. Thank goodness. I'm ready. I've got a sale going on right now. It's 20% off. If you guys don't mind sharing, that would be awesome. I'm thinking about continuing the sale throughout a couple of weekends in November. And I still have, I don't know, I've got more things to list. So it won't be old stuff. It'll be, new stuff that I'm listing. All right, let's see if I can get this. Yeah, I made a lot of mistakes, Suzanne, when I first started buying ribbon. I bought ribbon from Hobby Lobby, and a lot of Hobby Lobby ribbon in their everyday section is satin ribbon, and satin ribbon is the flimsy stuff. And so I make every attempt to try to online look to see what that ribbon is made of, and if it is satin, I just keep on scrolling. Linen ribbon is really good. I don't know what this ribbon is. The truck ribbon feels like it's satin, but it's got a painted on black and white check and the truck, so that makes it thicker. Hi, Chanda. Girl, thank you for joining. Chanda is the daughter of a friend of mine, and I bought her a few things. She's learning how to make wreaths. I bought her a few things at the Christmas warehouse the other day. Her mama's going to get to her. She went with me. Y'all say hi to Chanda. She lives in Northwest Arkansas. Chanda, there's people from all over the country on here, and then somebody from Canada. So Chanda's new to making wreaths. She's trying to find her way, and just takes practice. Practice. I made some pretty hideous stuff when I first started out. I'm not going to lie to y'all. I had a couple of wreaths that I wanted to remake, and my business coach said, well, why don't you just put them for a really deep discount and, you know, sell them, and, you know, that way you don't have to put any more time into them. Somebody will get a good deal. Well, I thought about that. I almost did that. But then I realized Etsy is really, really particular about bad reviews. If you get 2 bad reviews, I think it's just 2, they'll shut you down. And so that's also a reason why you should never have your eggs in one basket. You should sell, and right now all my eggs are in the Etsy basket, but you should sell on Facebook Marketplace. You should sell in a bunch of different places. But my first wreaths were so bad that I didn't even want to leave them as they were and sell them at a discount. They were really bad. So I still went ahead and redid them, and then on top of that, I've listed it at a lower price. So I'm too new. I can't have bad reviews. Number one, I would feel horrible if I got a bad review, if there was something wrong with it. Number two, I don't want to spend $100 on a wreath and then it not be exactly what it says and then some. I would be disappointed as a buyer. And so I don't ever want that from any of my buyers. All right, so we're going to jump up to the top. So I am liking this black and white and gray plaid after all. You know, I was real worried about how it was pairing with that red snowflake ribbon that has the ultra white snowflake and trim, but it looks pretty good together. I was worried that the not so bright white and the bright white would not look good together, but they do. They look fine. So you're getting it tomorrow? Did she send it in the mail, or are you coming to visit, or what, Chanda? I got you some really pretty ribbon to go with that sign. So when I picked those things out, I had in mind of you putting them together. All right, I'm missing a tie. There it is. Y'all, my husband is cooking downstairs. I can start to smell it. He's the chef in this family. It's wafting up the stairs. I didn't realize I was this hungry until I started smelling that. I do love the red truck, I have to say. I hate that it's starting to trend away. So have y'all seen the different colored trucks? The pink truck, the blue, the yellow, the white, the green. So I found the green and the royal blue truck, but I haven't found the pink. It's in the mail. Good. You did finish your first wreath? Girl, I'd like to see it. How'd it turn out? I think you were really thinking about it pretty hard, weren't you? About what goes with what, and you sounded like you were overthinking it a lot when I talked to you. Anyway, if anybody knows, if you ever come across the pink truck or the yellow truck, I went ahead and got me another truck today too. Or not today, but here's the truck. So it was $17.25. And last year I paid 20 bucks for it a piece, so it's gone down in price. Supply and demand, I guess. But this truck they also had in all the other colors. I'm looking for yellow and pink. So if anybody runs across that, y'all send me a message. You second guess everything? Yep. Me too at first. Now I just go with it. I still second guess when I'm putting a lot of picks and stuff on. That I'm not as comfortable with yet. The mesh selection, ribbon selection, not so much. So I think there was a question about ribbon selection, maybe. Was that from you, Suzanne? You always look at your inspiration piece. So the inspiration piece in this particular wreath was the red truck sign. So obviously red is one of the colors. And then in the red truck, and the back of the red truck, there is a Christmas tree that it's hauling. And there are grays and there are blacks. So let's take a look at it. So overall, it is a gray metal sign. So I can pull in grays and blacks because of that metal. Obviously, I'm going to pull in red, and obviously, I'm going to pull in green. So those are your color choices. And then white. You can also pull in white because of all the white accent. So find your inspiration piece. Select your colors that you want to bring out from your inspiration piece. And then just start matching your ribbon to that. Now I had the red truck ribbon. And so because of the red truck ribbon having the black and white check in it, that's also a way that I could bring in the black, which is why I chose this particular mesh for a curl, for a roll. And the black is also going to add a little bit more of a color dimension to it. All right, last one. All right, so now we're going to attach our sign and make a bow. So the sign, I think I want all of these little things to be up, if I can get them up. I might not be able to. I might have to just stick it right on top. It's metal, so I'm going to cut some holes in it with the beadsmith tool, which is a metal hole punch, basically. And I'm going to see if I can nestle this thing down in there and get a lot of this stuff up. So let's just go ahead and cut the holes first, if I can find my tool. And of course, it's down on the very bottom. So I think I'll just go side to side at first. And if I need to do a top to bottom, then I'll do a top to bottom. Ooh, I hope I can do it with this This has a rolled edge on it, and so we'll see if it'll allow me to punch. Let's turn it over. Might not allow me. Uh-oh. Alright, so that rolled edge is keeping me from going through. So, let's see. I do have a tool in here somewhere. What did I do with it? So it did go through, but I'm having to go through both sides to get it to. There it goes. Let's go this way too. Okay, got lucky. All right, got lucky that time. So it has an edge here that is rolled, and so it's thicker. And I've only got so much space to squeeze down on my tool, and it was keeping me from being able to punch all the way through. So I'm going to take some wire, and we're just going to go through that. And then we'll make us a bow. So just pull it through, give it a good twist. Suzanne, I'm looking for pink, yellow, summer colors. I saw a couple of wreaths on Pinterest last year that I want to replicate. They were grapevine wreaths with some summer spring flowers, but they were in summer colors. So I've had good luck with the red truck trending on Pinterest, and so I want to recreate that if I can. All right, so I'm going to set this down in here. Let's work this wire. I think this is 22 gauge wire. And just pull it through to the back side. So I'm going to pull it through first, and then I will snug it down and pull out all of these loops that I want. So I've got all these curls, and I might as well bring them to the front so that they can be seen. All right, I'm going to flip this over. So try to get your wire on either side of the ring so that you're not holding to something substantial and not just the mesh. And then just give it a couple of twists. And then I can tighten it down a little bit later. Alright, so I'm going to come through here and pull out all of the curls that I've made. As I've made them, I want them to show. Pull out your ribbon that might have gotten stuck under there as well. Pull out your mesh. Alright, I think I'm going to tuck this back under because I kind of covered the top of my sign. Okay, now let's make a bow. So, I kind of want this pushed up to the top a little bit more, and so that's probably what I will do later on when I'm messing with it a little bit more, because I want a big bow here. I absolutely adore this ribbon, so I want lots of this ribbon showing. So I've been to Craft Outlet before, Suzanne. I haven't found the trucks there. Have you seen them there? So I'm going to make a long tail bow. I do love Craft Outlet. So I think this first year, Craft Outlet is where I've purchased most of my stuff. Other than Hobby Lobby, Craft Outlet is the place that I purchased most of my stuff. So if I just start to put this ribbon in, then my trucks will end up being upside down, and I don't want that. So I'm going to take I'm going to take two 14-inch pieces of ribbon for the tail. So I'm going to have 28-inch long piece here that I'm going to lay in there for the tail, okay? So this is 24, 25, 26, 27, 28. So that's, I want 14 and 14. So there's one 14. And that would be another 14. So I'm going to cut this off right here. I'll cut it off a little bit longer so I don't cut into the truck. So I'm going to dovetail this end. Alright, so just find the center, scrunch it together, and then just lay it in. So that either way, both of the sides of the tails, the truck is upright and not upside down. So I'm going to make 6-inch loops, and I want 4 of them. So I'm just going to loop this end over end, and that way my trucks will end up upright on both loops. So if I want 6-inch loops, I'm going to take 12 inches. So 12 inches and fold it in half would be the 6 inches, right? So if I take 24 and just loop it around, somewhere around 24, and then just loop it around twice, then when I lay them out, that's going to be about 6 inches. Right? Y'all see what I did there? Is that confusing as everything? So just take 24 inches. So that's 24 right there. But I'm going to need it to be, I'm going to have some room to gather it together. So I'm going to scrunch that out a little bit further. Push it out a little bit further and just put a second loop there. Okay? So now all I've got is ribbon that is wrapped around itself. Okay? So if I were to cut that off right there, let me verify first before I cut that off. If I just find the center point there, and if I were to scrunch that together, let's measure that and see. That's to 12 inches. So that's going to work. So I'm going to cut this off here. I'm going to go ahead and dovetail it. They're just coming out with the spring stuff. The spring ribbon is there and some trucks. Okay, well I'm going to have to go look because I want some spring trucks. All right, let me find this other little piece. All right, so I'm going to open this up just a little bit more. Let me go ahead and dovetail this in. Now you can take this and just measure. I think I may have measured that wrong, y'all. Let me go from this end. You can just measure 12 and fold it in half, and then measure another 12 and fold it in half, and another 12 and fold it in half. But that's not the way I did it. So I just measured 24. So that's 24. I'm getting myself mixed up. Does anybody understand what I'm doing here? I'm getting it all mixed up. Alright, so that's 12. So now I'm just going to scrunch this together here. And we're going to put it right down in here. So now when I pull this apart, I will pull these two out whenever I'm fluffing this. And all of my trucks will end up being upright. Alright, so let's do the red next. It's already dovetailed on that end. Single-sided ribbon, so we have to do the twist. Love, love, love this ribbon. So I just keep pulling up here. I'm kind of measuring these two ribbons to themselves by pulling it up and seeing if it's the same height. So it's just kind of roughly guesstimating since I can't really see the bottom there. Uh-oh. Okay, y'all, I have a location in this ribbon where they put it together. I hate that. But it's right there at the gather, so I could almost just keep using it. Alright, I'm going to do it, see what it turns out like. It's glued together pretty darn good. Okay. So normally what you would do is you would pull that apart where they have spliced together the ribbon in the middle of your roll. But that is put together so strongly that it's not coming apart, so I'm going to leave it. Alright, so next I'm going to do the black and white plaid. Let's dovetail it. Single-sided, so it has to be twisted. I'm going to do these just a little bit shorter than the red ones below it. And that comes up above the top of the bow maker. So I'm going to pull this one and make it come up above the bow maker as well. I've done 4 loops on every one of these ribbons. So I'm going to do 4 on this one too. And here's the last loop. Match up the tails. This is nice thick ribbon here. I like it a lot. It is a linen ribbon. Linen ribbon is always stiffer and holds its shape and form better. Uh-oh. Alright, last but not least, this is Sam's ribbon here. It is a little bit thinner, but I've ended up using this particular ribbon a lot in my wreaths this year just because the colors are so fantastic. It is a Christmas red and green diagonal plaid. I don't know if that's got a name or not. That's how I describe it. But it is thin. I'll do 4 loops of this as well. I could just do 3. Maybe I'll do 3 and just do a center loop that's a little bit shorter. That's what I'm going to do. So when you do an odd number, it'll come off on the same side, and that's fine. That's no big deal. I'm going to make that pretty small. All right, I'm going to lift up on this ribbon a little bit. Let's slide. I think I'll use red. Slide a pipe cleaner in there, or a zip tie rather. Try to pull the head of the zip tie up to the top of the bow dabra and let it rest on the bow dabra, holding your ribbon down while you're pulling up on your zip tie, and thread your zip tie in there. Start to ratchet it down. So before you pull it out, go ahead and even out your loops before you pull it out. I started doing that. It seems to work better. Those are already the same because they're rolled on top of each other. Okay, now let's pull that out. So hold your loops and twist your zip tie to the back. So hold your loops and pull your tails down on each side. So I'm going to hold this side now and I'm going to pull these tails down. Alright, so lay it down, squish it down, and slide your zip tie. Create some space there by squishing it down and slide your zip tie underneath it. Even it out and then tighten it down. Let's cut off that excess, and now let's just fluff this bow. So I've created a smaller loop here. So before I go any further, I'm going to open up this loop, this center loop, and I'm going to pull this tail that was on this other side. I'm going to pull it over. And I am going to I'm going to slide another zip tie in there. This is overkill, y'all. But I'm going to do it anyway because I want that to stay open in the center and I want that tie to stay on the other side. But it's overkill, I know. So now just start fluffing it out. I'm going to start with the back. You can pull on them. They're not going anywhere. Pull them pretty good. Twist them front to back, front to back. Basically what you're doing is you are pulling them apart from the other one, and they're so that they're easier to position. Alright. So you can do this on a fluff box, and sometimes it's easier to get your stuff to stay in the location that you want it when you fluff it out on a fluff box. I love a fluff box. I've kind of gotten away from it because I've just gotten so used to doing it with my hands. But when you have a big bow or you are a fluff box is a wonderful tool. A fluff box is just a big old piece of wood that has some weight to it, that you put a round or an open hook on the top of it and a small nail on the side, and you put your wire down through the hook and twist it around the nail and hold it in place while you're doing all this fluffing. Okay, so there's the bow. All right, so on this, I am going to pull this up here to the top. Let's just go ahead and do that. And we are almost done with this, y'all. So I'm going to untwist my wires. And I'm going to pull them through from this side. I'm going to go ahead and move them up to the top some. And twist them back in place. Let's do the same over here. All I'm doing is moving this up some in height on this wreath form. And since I'm in a hurry to do it for you guys, if it's not right, I will come back afterwards and get it in the perfect place. Yeah, I like that. And so what I'm going to do now is I'm going to attach this bow down here. Flip it around so I can get to it. My dog is at the door, sniffing under the door, trying to get to me. Poor Jack. Loves his mama. All right, tighten this down a little bit. So let's find my loops. There it is. There's that one. That ribbon is so pretty. Oh my gosh. It's beautiful. That red ribbon I am in love with. Alright, so there's that. And so I will come back and secure this a little bit better. And I will put some embellishments on it. I don't know what embellishments I'm going to put on it. I kind of want them to be a little bit rustic for the farm truck. But, you know, they don't have to be rustic. I could come along, since I've got snowflakes, and put some of these snowflakes in. That might be kind of cute. Hot glue some of these snowflakes in there. Yeah, that would be cute, y'all. Maybe 3. Something like that. And then I do have some ornaments, or, yeah, I'm not quite sure, but I'll figure out something. And I love this ribbon. Love, love, love it. Love the red truck design. It's one of my favorites. I hate that it's going out of style, but I do love it. Alright, you guys, that's it. You guys check out my Instagram, Etsy store, and my YouTube channel. Y'all, I'm so happy. My YouTube channel has just reached over 100 followers. And I've been working it probably for the last just month or so since I really started doing these lives. I try to put all of my lives over there, and it's gotten over 100 followers. And I think that's so awesome. It's just a start, so I'm on my way. As usual, I would appreciate it if y'all would share this and help get my following up and get my name out there and get my business going. And also, as usual, if y'all have any questions, y'all feel free to message me. I'm more than happy to help any way I can, okay? All right, you guys, I appreciate you showing up every time. This is awesome. Thank you, Elaine. Thank you, Suzanne. Appreciate you guys so much. Thank you, Ronnie, for showing up. Thank you, Chanda. Nice to have you. Amy, love you, sister. Like a sister. Appreciate you guys, and I'll see y'all in the next video. Thanks. Bye.